this morning. So hopefully we will, this will not be an indication of how this is going to go. Hey, Mrs. Andrew Vaughn, Robin, Emily, Cindy, good morning. Janice, if everybody would please retweet and share, I'd really appreciate it. Hey, Lynn, good to see you. Good to see everybody. Hey, Alan, Chezzy, still sharing here. Let's see, get this up in here. Good Monday morning. How is everybody? Hey, Yuri, good morning. Please, if you will, share with everybody. Hey, Eva, good morning. Carmen, hi all. I lost my Twitter account, got hacked. Great, Cindy. That's not good. A lot of times, if you have an Android phone, you can get easily hacked. So I don't know what kind of phone you have and if that's how you got hacked. Tell us what your old profile name was so that we know you're the same person. All right. As we get started, I'm going to, hey, Lori, good morning. I'm going to read to you Psalm 77, and then we'll get started. I cried out to God with my voice, to God with my voice, and he gave ear to me. In the day of my trouble, I sought the Lord. My hand was stretched out in the night without ceasing. My soul refused to be comforted. I remembered God and was troubled. I complained and my spirit was overwhelmed. Amen. All right. I'll just stop it right there. I want to thank everybody who came on last night and prayed for Jason Howerton, who works for the Blaze. His son was in surgery last night, and everybody was he was very much asking for prayers, begging for prayers, as a matter of fact. Very scared, not knowing what to do. Hey, Kim, good morning. And so I just saw a current update. Basically, his son is out of surgery and in his mother's arms, he said. And so that's really good news. But, please continue to pray for his son. And also, please pray for Jason. I think he's going through a hard time right now, as any parent would be. But as a Christian, sometimes you get in a place where you start, you have faith, but then you start questioning everything. And so I think this is a time for everybody to make it clear to Jason who God is and how much God loves him and his family, and bring him closer to God, not further away from God ever. So good to hear praying for them all. Robin said, thank you, God. Yuri said prayers. Yes, absolutely. So please keep them in your prayers. Now, hey, Teresa, good morning. There's been a lot of news. Overwhelmed. Are you overwhelmed, Carmen, or you're just saying he is? I mean, sending prayers. Cindy said, yeah, it's easy for people to get overwhelmed. Cindy Mermaid, is that Cindy Anna? Is that who? Are you one and the same? Yeah, continued prayers, Eva said. Thank you. Now, I'll tell you, this weekend, the people I've heard are calling Jussie's girl for Jussie Smollett. The woman from Georgia should be ashamed of herself. Hey, Carol. I don't know if you heard about what happened. There was a African-American woman who says she's pregnant, who went to the express lane. She had like 15 items. I guess she could only have 10. And what happened was a man saw her, called her a bee, which, is inappropriate, called her a bee. And then she claims he told her to go back from where she came. And then she couldn't remember, go back, or, some references to that. And then she went online and she cried and, oh, I'm pregnant, and things like that. And basically calling the guy a racist, trying to play a Jussie Smollett, making things up as she went. I mean, the story from the very beginning, oh, she had 20 items. Yeah. I mean, if you're pregnant and you're disabled at the same time, Then there are carts that you can ride around the store in. I've had to do that before. When I broke my ankle, I couldn't get around. There are electric carts at the front of the store that you can use. So she could use that. And anyway, she called this man a racist, in effect. And turns out the man is Cuban, a Democrat, and hates President Trump. And there was this little thing called a video and an audio, I guess, hooked to it, right? So she had to recant her story. I think it's horrible. I don't care if it was something where she just felt like, oh, well, I'm going to do this today. I have the right to do it. It's horrible. And what makes it even more horrible is the fact that she is a Georgia leader, a legislative leader. Now, the guy, on the other hand, said, yeah, I called her the B word and I shouldn't have, but I didn't say those things to her like she said I did. And I think it's really shameful. And I have a hair, sorry. And the thing of it is, it's just kind of like gone away now. They're eating themselves. Let's just stand back and watch, Alan said. Pamela, good morning. Good morning, Pamela. It's just shameful behavior, falsely accusing anybody of anything. Funny how no one said that before, but suddenly all whites are saying it. Yeah. Yeah, he was a jerk. He admitted that he said what he said, Pamela. At least he admitted the truth when somebody asked him. He didn't try to lie, and he didn't, try to make things up like she obviously did. And then later had to recant her story when it was found out that he was Cuban, he was Democrat, he hated Trump, and there was a video. Too many people are crying wolf nowadays. That's right. Yeah, she's a race baiter. And like I said, what makes it worse is that she's a public official, and that makes it worse. You could kind of overlook him for just being stupid and saying stuff that he shouldn't say. But for her, she's a public official. She should know better. And I think she should be called out. She should have to resign. She won't. Hey, Marlene. And resign by the fact that she lied about another human being. That's why she should resign. But it's, you don't see it trending. You don't see it anywhere in Twitter. Nobody's talking about it. It's kind of, oh, well, it's gone and over with. Let's not worry about it. If that had been a Republican, it would still be in the news. And on and on. People just want attention. They really do want attention. Some people are starved for attention. They really are. And it's a shame to sit and see that. Dems get by with everything, same as always. Yeah, that's true, Robin. It's very true. And I don't know how Cuban be a Democrat. Some people are so stupid. Well, I don't know if he came from Cuba or if he's Cuban descent. I have no idea. Don't really care, but I'm sure he probably got over here some way and then became a Democrat. Yes, they want their 15 minutes of fame or something. Yeah. I mean, they want to jump on the bandwagon with all those people who are making up stories. Most people that, hey, JVA, that I've ever met, they really don't care about these type of things. They're going along with their business. They have things that happen in their lives, and they're doing things that they don't have anything to do with race issues. They don't care about race issues. They don't call people names. They go about their business. Some are masters of confusion. Yes, absolutely, Janice. So it's a shame to see somebody who's trying to be a race baiter, or who is a race baiter, not trying. She's a race baiter, and it's terrible, and it's inexcusable. And I think what she should do is come out and say, for whatever reason, I got it wrong. If she did lie, which she has to have known she lied, admit I lied, and I'll resign today because I lied. Empty barrels make the most noise. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Miss Penny Lane, people have disputes, nothing to do with race. That's right, Cindy. I could care less what race you are, honestly. I want to know your character. What kind of person are you? How do you treat people? What comes out of your mouth? What are you saying? Another day not seeing other comments. It's so weird because I can sometimes see them. I know, Kim. Let me just tell you about something that's weird. I put up an article this morning about the president, and it was a positive article about the president. Renee, who comes in here, Nunya Business is who she's called, is her name. Hey, Cully. she retweeted that article that I put up, that post. I am the same Susan, what is on the inside. So anyway, she retweeted it, positive article about President Trump, and immediately, and I'm not even kidding you, I saw it flash up, and then immediately it was gone. I went to try to find where she had retweeted it, where she had done it, could not find it. So they're already shadow banning anything that's positive about the president. I don't know if they're shadow banning the president, but they certainly are doing things like that on articles. Oh, character, I was meaning. Okay. Gotcha, Cindy. So that's already happening. So some things that you think that you are supposed to see, you're not going to see because they're just like that. I don't know if it's the name Trump and they just get rid of everything, but it was not retweeted anywhere. And I had just seen her do it. That's crazy, Susan. I know, Kim. I thought so too. Democrats don't care about any minorities. It's all about votes. That's true, Tim. It's very true. Most Democrats are absolutely that way. They don't care. All they're wanting to do. I heard somebody explain this today, and I can't remember who said it. It was one of the talk show hosts. There's Renee. One of the talk show hosts. But they said Democrats want illegals to come in because they're killing off this generation by abortion, right? And they want to bring in the illegals so they can train them the way they want them. You know, it's like to brainwash them the way you want them brainwashed is what they're doing in the public schools now, but they want to start from the very beginning. I've seen that once myself. Weird, scary, even Carmen said. They just make us stronger, Janice said. Renee, I was talking about this morning when I posted an article, positive article about President Trump. You retweeted it and it instantly disappeared when you did that. So problem was it was pro-Trump. That's exactly right, Cully. It was pro-Trump. And I mean, it disappeared so fast. If I hadn't been looking at the screen, I wouldn't have known it was that her retweet never occurred, that they didn't allow her to retweet it. They've killed off their voters for decades. That's true, Robin. And they continue to do it every single day. Every single day. Dems are Jim Jones reincarnated, Rick said. Yeah, well, it's pretty scary where we're going now. It really is. And it's speeding up to the amount of depravity that we're seeing each and every day. Speaking of depravity, has anybody seen that viral video that's going around of Rashida Tlaib during the 2016 Trump campaign? That woman was totally unhinged as she was being forced out of the campaign hall where it was taking place. And then she turns to the camera and screams at somebody at the camera saying, "You people are crazy." And then the guy called her an animal. And then she tried to come back and get him. She was forcefully trying to get away from whoever was escorting her out. The woman was unhinged. They are taking me out. They blocked me last week and made me confirm I wasn't a bot, Renee said. Wow. People are not as dumb as they think. Janice said she looks crazy sometimes. Yeah, well, you know, when you say impeach the MFer in front of children, your own child, and saying it just in general, but in front of children, and then you tell somebody that you're crazy as you're screaming at the top of your lungs during this place that was taking place, the campaign 2016, it makes you look unhinged and crazy, filled with hate. Absolutely, Tom. Absolutely. Cindy said, yes, that was shocking. So if you haven't seen that, go ahead and watch that. Send camera me. No, I'm not going to send camera you, but good morning. Oh my gosh, Carmen said, yeah, it's nutty. You can see it. I've retweeted it a couple of times, but it's all over. And here's the thing that you and I know. The mainstream media knew about this, and they did not show that anywhere prior to her being elected, and they wouldn't be showing it now, but for somebody finding it and putting it out there. No morals. That's right. Yep. And teaching your child, that's appropriate behavior. That's what's happening. And that's just despicable too. Now let's see. there was, remember the Planned Parenthood, right? It's President Trump won in court and everything else about Planned Parenthood, not those that are federally funded, not being able to make referrals to abortion clinics. And it was going to take place immediately. Well, for some reason, it's being reported now on certain websites that that's not going to take place for 2 months, that the Trump administration has decided that they're going to give those agencies 2 months to comply with that. Don't know why. By the way, USS Tactics 101 armbar escort in video. Well, somebody need to strong arm her in that video. Think she also got arrested at a $15 an hour rally. Why not, Cully? It's like it's a badge of honor to them to be arrested. She is a political bully. She is, Yuri. And she might just be that way in her personal life. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of hard to separate yourself from a personal persona and one that you are elsewhere. I'm kind of beginning to think this is the way she is, and she comes off this way all the time. So anyway, that's sad news about Planned Parenthood. If that's true, I think that it should have taken place right away and not wait 2 months. I mean, what's the thing? You go in now, they're going to have 2 months to give referrals to women to abortion clinics. Yeah, I know, Alan. I want to know why too. Why does it take 2 months for you to change that policy? And look how many people can be killed in that 2 month period. If it's something where the court said that you have the ability to do that, why not do it immediately? So I don't know who made that decision. I think that's important to know too, and why that decision was made. But I'm sure it's probably something that we'll never know. Now, I agree, Susan. She is a bully in general, Yuri said. She sure seems that way, Yuri. It absolutely seems that way. Iran has saying that it has arrested and sentenced some to death that are CIA spy rings. They have, I believe, 17 people. President Trump, thanks for sharing, Ann. President Trump says there is zero truth to that fact. And Pompeo said the other day that you have to be careful with Iran. They lie a lot. And what they're saying is most likely not true. So I would tend to agree with that. Right now, they're just making stuff up because they can. Good morning, Ann. Also, kind of what we would expect to happen when people are worried about what the impact is going to be. And the Congress of Nothingness goes on. AOC calls for 9/11 style investigation of Trump border policy, Patrick said. Yeah, absolutely, Patrick. And it's never going to stop. I mean, really won't. And here's the other thing I was getting ready to say. Adam Schiff now is saying, I think the Inspector General Horowitz's soon to be released FISA abuse report, it can't really be trusted because this was all done for political reasons. And they had him, working on fast tracking report last year on McCabe because President Trump didn't want McCabe to get his pension. And so, he's just got caught up in all of the political rhetoric. And what he's essentially saying is that the report's not going to be valid. It's not going to be reliable. This guy is just another political hack who's doing the job that the DOJ and President Trump are telling him to do because he's just a puppet. That's what Schiff is trying to get you to believe. And the Congress of Nothing. Okay. I had a boss like that. She was sneaky too. She got off on bullying others. Yep, Cindy. Yep. Schiff her brains. That's right, Hugh. Schiff is insane. Schiff, I think, is, I think Schiff has some stuff in his closet that he doesn't want anybody to see. Hey, Monica. So he's going, oh, look over here. Look over here. I don't want you to see this over here. So again, they're priming the pump, if you will. And then Nadler came out yesterday and said, I'll tell you this already. And this is probably because he's talked to Mueller extensively. I'll tell you already, there are crimes that are in the Mueller report that are impeachable. So we've started back on the impeachment talk now because, again, we still don't have anything to do. Hughes said he's still in the closet. Let's see. Elgin text said fake news puts all this out trying to distract everyone. Absolutely. And Rick said exactly. Absolutely. He does. Noel said. Yeah, I mean, really, what else do they have at this point? What else do they have? They have, I'm calling them the sister squad now. And until they add a brother, they're going to be the sister squad. Some people call them the fate squad. They're all of that and more. Those people, the socialists and the communists, are trying all that they can do to shut down the border detention centers because they want people released into the United States. I have it on good authority that Brennan and Comey are spilling their guts about Obama and Hillary. Kim said, standard hotel. JVA said, I think Schiff is on medication. Tom said, Elgin said, for 2 years, Russia, no credibility left for fake news. Exactly, Elgin. And on the Steele dossier, Kim said, I like the Jihad Squad. Yeah, the Jihad Squad is good. That's good too, Marlene. I call them the sister squad because the fraud squad. Yeah, that's good too. What about the Mueller witness that got arrested? Oh, Cully, that's nothing. That was just, what was that? That was all about improper conduct or something like that with a child. Oh, I'm sure it was nothing, Cully. Sure, it was absolutely nothing. Yeah, one of the star witnesses. Yeah, I'm sure it was nothing. The Comey squad. The Comey squad. Yes. Or the Comey squad. There's Gracie. Did you see her? She got up and she stretched. Gracie, you can go out this way too. Okay, there she made it. Can't figure out how to get that door open. All right. Yeah, they're just laying the groundwork to discredit the report that's coming out. See, Mueller's report, oh, that's the best report ever invented on the face of the planet, But that IG report, oh no, that's all political. Don't even believe a word of it. This is what we expected, right? We knew this was coming. Okay. We are almost at the halfway point. If you would like to share at this point, that'd be great. What will be the Democrats' typic after Trump wins 2020? They'll come up with something. They're never going to quit. They just keep going and going and going. So they've got nothing better to do. They don't do any work in Congress, and so they have to come up with something to keep them busy, right? Okay, so in other news as well, thank you for sharing and inviting your followers, everybody. Israel, this was in sort of breaking news. They began demolition of dozens of Palestinian homes in East Jerusalem. So that affects about and also you should know this has been a year-long battle about these homes. They say that they were built too close on that West Bank. Hey, Susan, super great to see you. Good to see you, Monique. They were built too close to its West Bank separation barrier. And the people who built there said, oh, no, it's not too close. And we were given permits by the Palestinian Authority. Yeah, well, there was your first mistake. But anyway, about 20 people are having their homes destroyed. And it will also affect about 350 other people who bought homes there or invested there. And now they're going to be destroyed. I read that Nancy and Schumer's name come up in El Chapo deal. Yuri said, who knows? I haven't read that part yet. Anything is possible these days, Yuri. Anything is possible. But you have to be careful. You want to make sure that you get some proof of something before you start talking about it. Hey, Margie, because, at least collaboration on a couple of sites to give you a better indication that it might be true. I mean, used to, you could trust people. You can't anymore. Can I say that? You just can't trust people and what they're saying because people just make it up. There was also information yesterday that came out. Hey, Michael, about Seth Rich. apparently there is a video that confirms that, yeah, I know. Of course, Palestinian Authority gave permits, Alan said. Of course. Why would they? It's all legitimate. Just go ahead and build there. I'm surprised that Israel waited so long. But like I said, it was a legal battle that was taking place for over a year over this dispute about that. Have you heard about Solomon's gold being found? I briefly, Renee, I read articles Yuri said. Well, good, Yuri. So the video confirms that Julian Assange told Ellen Ratner, who's a news analyst, who was also married to Michael Ratner, an attorney who represented Julian Assange. Supposedly, she told the DNC that the emails were received from Seth Rich and not a Russian hack. And she got that information from Julian Assange. Supposedly, she met with Julian Assange for 6 hours in the Ecuadorian embassy when he was there. What gets me is that Roger Stone and Jerome Corsi basically almost had their lives destroyed because Roger Stone mentioned something one day and they thought that was a little, I don't know, message from Julian Assange that he had revealed all of Hillary's emails. So justice is only a one-sided justice here. Mexico gave permission to South Americans to cross our border too. Well, isn't that just lovely, Alan? What? Solomon's gold was found? Really? Carmen said. That's what everyone has been saying this whole time. Yep. So it brings back a motive again, a possible motive for Seth Rich's murder. Or if you believe he wasn't murdered, then, he just vanished, I guess. So anyway. But yeah, people knew that, I'm sure. Ellen Ratner probably ratted it out to other people that people didn't want to listen. Heard nothing on the Roger Stone case. Nope. Hearing nothing about Roger Stone. I think he's got a gag order, Cully. He can't say anything. Hey, Aussie Nick. And things just continue to go on with Roger Stone. Don't know whatever happened to Jerome Corsi, who claimed, from what I read, that it was Mueller who wanted him to agree to sign something that wasn't truthful, and he said no. And I haven't seen Jerome Corsi or heard hide nor hair of him since that happened. He used to be on YouTube, and he was on YouTube doing Q posts until he deemed that the Q posts were actually fake and phony. And then he stopped doing that. And then it was after that Mueller came after him. And then he really disappeared. Yes, Roger has a gag order on him, Kim said. Yeah. So it's funny because the whole Mueller investigation is over, but the Roger Stone investigation part of it just keeps going and going and going. So I don't know if New York is looking into it, and that's who has it, or if it's the DOJ. I have no idea. It would be nice to know whatever happened to Corsi and Stone. All right. Now, I don't know if you read my article on Kristen Sinema. She was a person who she beat out McSally in Arizona to be the U.S. Senator there. That was Jerome Corsi, Carmen. He was reading the Q posts until he found out they weren't legitimate, and then he stopped. So, Sinema, and you may recall, they were touting her. Oh, she's the first openly bisexual, blah, blah, blah. And the LGBTQ came out and said, oh, she's about ready to crack the lavender ceiling. So you heard more about who she was and her sort of actions, rather than what she stood for. So most of us looked at it and we said, my gosh, this woman is going to be crazy. She's going to have crazy antics. She's going to be all over the place. She's going to cause trouble, on and on and on. Well, as you may know, the Sister Squad is the one causing the trouble. Sinema, strangely enough, a Democrat, right, has been doing her job, it seems, and is coming off, appearing at least for now, more more conservative than the Sister Squad or any other Democrat. In fact, Sinema and 8 other senators, it's a bipartisan um, project, I guess you would say. They're working on a way to quickly remove those not eligible for asylum hey Daniel, so that they can get the border, get these people moving, get them back. It's called Operation Safe Return. They want to get them back to where they came from. Oh, did I say that? And safely and quickly. And if they deem that there's no way that they are eligible for asylum, then get them out of here, get them out of the country, get them back to where they came from. Now, if I can find it, there was a breaking news just a few minutes ago. Now, I also want to tell you that Sinema and these 8 other congressmen sent a letter to McAleenan, who's the acting DHS secretary. Yes, she is in Arizona. And that letter was telling McAleenan, we really want to do this. We think it's important to do. Hey, Debbie, and let's do this. Okay. So breaking news right before we came on, the Trump administration on Monday announced its intention to expand authority for expedited removal of immigrants who cannot prove that they have been in the United States for 2 years. So they're starting to take initiative as well. Probably, I would say, maybe prompted by this letter from Sinema and her group. I don't see any big stories on Solomon's Gold, Rocky said. Yeah. I saw or heard something, but again, if I don't hear it a couple of times, then I don't dwell on it because I don't know if that it's true. A lot of people make stuff up. Watching her from Arizona, I didn't vote for her, Yuri said. Well, good, Yuri, because she is Democrat. So the current policy allows a low-level officials to use expedited removal, which permits deportation without a hearing before an immigration judge within 100 miles of the border and for individuals who have been in the country less than 2 weeks. Under the proposed expansion, immigrants who did not arrive by sea anywhere in the U.S. more or less than 100 miles from the border and have been continuously present in the U.S. for less than 2 years could face expedited removal. Currently, when arrests are made, individuals are placed into deportation proceedings, a process with massive court backlogs. So they want to get these people out of here quickly. Now, what's going to happen? You're going to see the ACLU running into court or somebody else. They're going to fight this tooth and nails. They don't want people taken out of here, people that have broken the law, that shouldn't be here, that can't seek asylum because there are no reasons for asylum for them to be here. Yeah, stop the draw to come here. Renee, that is number one. But you know what, Renee, and you've heard this too. You've got people like George Soros that are involved in spending a lot of money, whether it's called a Soros group or a group that he funds. And there are people who are running newspaper ads and all that in the country saying, go to America. They've got open borders. They want you there. Solomon and Sarah, I think, belong to Q. Yeah, I don't know. So, anyway, and that's to take effect starting tomorrow. It should have been, let's take it and put it into effect today, because as you wait till tomorrow, it gives the time for the ACLU to get their lawsuit written up, where they can do that quickly, take it to court and get a restraining order and an injunction. That's what's going to happen. Solomon's Gold found the deep sea during and because of the Dead Red Sea project, Renee said. I like Sinema more than Sally now. I guess Sally, I've seen McSally. A lot of people are saying that she's really not for a border wall, and she's been quiet. I haven't heard anything from her. I think that could be in response to the fact that she has to go up for re-election and she's trying to hide under the radar. She doesn't want to come out too much as, a bold Republican, which is a big mistake because Arizona, while it's purple, I think Republicans would vote for her, but I'm not sure now if they will. So we'll see what happens. In other news, a private investigator and a former homicide detective. This is all according to the Daily Mail, so, take it with a grain of salt, too. His name is Michael Fiston. He claims he spent 10 years tracking Epstein and said that Epstein began losing interest in his alleged victims once they reached their late teen years. So if that's true, the guy is just more gross every time you read something about him. Carpet mills in Georgia were advertising for people to come here for work. The ads were in, they put them in Mexico. Well, there you go. You keep encouraging people to come here, and you don't do anything to penalize the employers, then they just keep coming. So it's a shame. We really need to do something about that. But are we going to do something about it? Can you stop something like that in somebody else's country? It'd be very difficult to do. But the borders, yes, you have to keep working on closing those borders down to people who don't legitimately come here seeking asylum. So that sounds like a typical pedophile. I know, Renee. It's sounding more and more disgusting about Epstein every time you hear something. So, and this is a report that came out over the weekend. I thought it was really interesting about, it was the 50-year anniversary of the walk on the moon. And I didn't know this until the other day. This was Michael Knowles, not related to me. Hey, Bob, how are you? Who wrote an article for Daily Wire saying one of the things that NASA did was they cut the video, they cut the live stream to Buzz Aldrin, who was quoting from the Bible. And Buzz Aldrin also had communion, and NASA cut that video stream so you couldn't see it. And the reason that NASA did that supposedly is that there was a legal battle going on with an atheist who had gotten mad about and filed a lawsuit the last time. I think it was the Apollo 8 group had read from the Bible, had read from Genesis, and she didn't like it. Have to fix the 10 items or less rule, Cully said. And here is what the Buzz Aldrin actually said. He quoted from the Gospel of John. I am the vine, you are the branches. Whosoever abides in me will bring forth much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. I think that's absolutely wonderful to remind people then and now that still holds true. So, but, that just shows you that the spirit of Antichrist is at work and alive and well on this earth, and has been for many, many years. Yeah, they never went to the moon. So what are you talking about? Nit said. Nit, Arizona. And also the earth is flat, right, Nit? You found that out too, right? Okay. Good morning, Vendel. How are you? Good to see you. Yeah, nobody walked on the moon. The earth is flat. The grass isn't really green, and the sky is not blue. Okay. Now, here is the, Here is the information that, since the garden, that's right, Marlene, that's right. Here's the information that Harley Guy, oh my gosh, how are you? Good to see you. Here's the post that I retweeted, that I posted, and that Renee retweeted and was not seen. Did you see the moon landing denier got face punched? I did, Renee. I saw that. So this was an article that is from the Mercury News, is up in San Francisco, a very liberal newspaper, I might add, because it's San Francisco. They reported that, now listen to this, for all of you that hate California and think that people in California don't support President Trump. President Trump, someone sees me, I know, Harley. Moon deniers, attention whores, Tom said. Oh, yes. Tom, there's so many people who just cannot control themselves, and that they're seeking attention. It's so sad that as children, for whatever reason, they weren't able to get the attention that they needed, and now are seeking it any way that they can, telling lies, doing anything else, doesn't matter. That's what they do. Okay, so what I posted was that President Trump raised $3.2 million in California. Hold on one second. Had to get rid of somebody who was being obnoxious over on YouTube. Sorry. It was just required. Uh, so anyway, back to what I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by the rudeness over on YouTube there for a moment. President Trump raised $3.2 million in California. So more than all of his Democrat challengers. Think about that. All of his Democrat challengers except for Kamala Harris and Pete Buttigieg, which is bad, I know. But think about that. How he raised more than Biden in California, more than everybody else, all of his Democrat challengers except for Harris and Buttigieg. That's pretty amazing. And most of the money, this is what really is amazing to me. Most of the money came from the Central Valley, suburbs of Southern California, Inland Empire, and the rural North. The top donors were from Beverly Hills, Orange County, and San Diego. Yes, but how many will vote for him? Well, Harley Guy, the people that I know, they're pretty much red-blooded conservatives, okay? I blame the reality shows for all those attention seekers don't understand them. I know. It's true. What surprised me is that a lot of the money came from the Central Valley. And what's surprising about that is a very, much agricultural area that brings in illegal immigrants to do all of the agricultural work there. And maybe it's those people who are sick and tired of having to live with that in their area that are the ones that gave all the money to President Trump to try to do something about it. Could very well be. But I think that's a very good sign. You would expect Harris to be a big fundraiser in California. Oh, absolutely. In fact, people like Katy Perry, Grande, and somebody else came out for her, Ariana Grande. I'm going to take this donut and eat it and put it back. Remember her? So basically they came out but this big fundraiser over the weekend for Kamala. So, let's see. I donated that same weekend, Sacramento. Lots of us here. Margie said, yep. Could the state be changing color? Harley Guy, I hope so. Conservatives start to understand that voting is important. Money from me from the Central Coast. Good for you, Jules. I love the Central Coast. I really love the Central Coast. As you know, I went on vacation there recently. That's my favorite place. But the places like Salinas, overrun with illegal immigrants and, coming there to work the fields. It's terrible. Rich conservative farmers there, dairy owners want to keep their cows. Yep. Anyone that bunch of Satanists support should automatically be rejected. Renee said. Okay. You probably, I don't know if you heard this or not, but I'll repeat it. A journalist who was born in Somalia and became Canadian, wanted to prove that there were stereotypes being said about Omar's homeland of Somalia. So she went there and was showing pictures of, this is a beautiful place. It's wonderful. And again, she wanted to get rid of the stereotypes and show people that Somalia was a wonderful place. Well, she unfortunately was ended up killed by an ISIS terrorist. So, it's a shame. I mean, what has been said about Somalia, certainly with that happening as well, seems to be something that's easily proven. So, now, in other news, I thought this was so great. That's happened to a few people. Yep. Canada immigration minister says he's going back to Somalia if not reelected. We hope so, Cindy said. Well, tell him goodbye. Yeah, Robin said, yes, it's so wonderful there. Yes. I thought this was hilarious when I saw it. The Trump campaign is now selling Trump straws in packs of 10 for $15. The plastic straws are red and say Trump on them. The campaign's merchandise website states that liberal paper straws don't work and describes the straws as BPA free, reusable, recyclable, 9 inches long, pack of 10, laser engraved, made in the USA. Yeah, I know. So, bye, Felicia. Cully said 20 plus killed. Yep, Cully. She was one of about 20 killed there. Somali Tourism Commission Board keeps losing their members, Nick said. One-way ticket is what Canadians are saying, counting the days, October 25th, Cindy said. I say that too funny. Yeah, I so funny that they would make those straws. And then Donald Trump Jr. had a straw, like it was bent, and I don't know who did it, but he posted it, and it said, come and get it, that type thing. It was great. Booyah, go Trump, Carmen said. Yes. Make straws great again. Absolutely. I think that's hilarious and should be. Should be done. I want a Trump straw. Well, you can order them at the merchandise website for Trump. The Trump campaign selling them. I heard about the straws the other day, and supposedly the campaign is going well. I am sure it is. There's also, if you guys haven't checked this out, Rush Limbaugh is selling Betsy Ross t-shirts. And like, I think it says, I stand for Betsy Ross or something like that, Betsy Ross flag. And they've raised over $1 million, and it goes to charity, and they're $27 a piece. So, if it's something that, you want to get, you should go ahead and get that. Mueller coming up shortly. I thought Mueller was coming up on Wednesday. Trump straws equal genius, Tom said. Yes. But I'm probably going to be getting one of those t-shirts because they looked very good. Cindy said, I will get a Trump straw. Yep, they're $15 for a package of 10, and it will help the Trump campaign. So a good investment of your money. Yeah, Cully said last he heard was $1.8 million raised off of those Betsy Ross flag t-shirts. And that's really, really good. Gotta run. Have a good day. You too, Renee. Take care. The Rush shirts are great. Chicago Pops, Cully was saying he heard 1.8. I'm going to have to do some shopping. No kidding, Robin. No kidding. Awesome. I will get some. Thanks, Susan. Cindy said. Send Melania back. No, sweetheart, Mott, 789. See, Melania isn't one of those people who speaks out about Israel. She's not anti-Israel. And, she doesn't support CARE, Mott, 789. She loves America. Gloria said she got her one. That's good, Gloria. When I get mine, I'll have to wear it for you on Periscope. So let's see. Justin Bieber, Little Beeb, the Beeb, came out over the weekend, and he said, President Trump is trying to get the rapper who was arrested in Sweden. He's trying to get him released. First Lady Melania is so classy. Admire her so much. Cindy said, yes, she is a class act. So President Trump is trying to get the rapper released. Sweden so far, according to the reports, is saying they're not going to release him. So the Beeb said, I appreciate that you're trying to get my friend, the rapper, out, but please free the children in cages at the southern border. Well, there are no cages, Beeb, and holding children at the border. And Beeb, that was Obama. Yeah, and Justin Bieber, another embarrassing. Yeah, he's embarrassing. He is, he's as brain dead as the other people who are fooled by what the mainstream media is saying. So, Justin is an idiot, Robin said. Good morning, Junior. How are you, Junior? Junior, we were just talking about Justin Bieber. I don't know if you're familiar with him, and he's been in somebody that you've picked up on your way to pick up Anthony Weiner and, at the rallies you've gone to. But Justin Bieber, you have to You have to help him along because he thinks kids are in cages. He is lost, Harley Guy. He is. Probably comes from being in that kind of world growing up as a child and being brainwashed and sort of used maybe as a child a little bit. It's never a good thing. Is he a black rapper? Yes. Yeah, he's called ASAP, I guess, with a dollar sign for the S. ASAP. He basically, I saw the video from TMZ, and I guess, I don't know, some people were following him and saying some things or whatever. And in the video, it looked like he basically kind of picked up this guy and threw him down the street. So I didn't see the guy touch him, but I didn't see all the video. I mean, I saw what was there. Don't know what happened before. Don't know what happened after. Childhood star was made famous so fast, all via YouTube. Cindy said, yeah. Justin needs a Snickers bar. You know, Harley Guy, he needs, yeah, I may need more than that. Idiot Elite's doing no research, just repeating some crap someone else said. Yeah, and Carmen, now, I mean, isn't that kind of typical of what people do, especially in Hollywood? They believe, that if you heard it there, if a celebrity said it, it must be true. Tim said, get Bieber to free Nelson Mandela too. Oh, I don't know, Beeb. I don't know if ASAP is going to be your friend once he gets back from Sweden, when he finds out that you weren't pushing to get him released. Seems that everybody is a rapper, Tom said. Yeah. Yeah, it does seem like everybody's a rapper. One of the things that it's unfortunate in some ways too, when these rappers make it seem like they became rappers overnight, and it's so easy for everybody to become a rapper, because the kids, especially the kids that I was seeing when I was in a therapist in a school, in an alternative school, when I would see kids there, they really thought that you could become an overnight success being a rapper. And so a lot of them wanted to become rappers. And it's kind of a shame, because you couldn't kind of convince them that they needed an education, because rapping isn't for everybody, and not everybody becomes rich being a rapper. Trump could turn Obama's cages into a playground and the left would still condemn him. Yes, Kim, they would. Because there's proof and video, and people wrote articles about it and everything else about Obama putting kids in cages. And yet they still want to believe that it was Trump and not Obama, because that goes along with their narrative. Bieber is the latest person to be talking. Look at his behavior, Karma said. Eminem is another clown. Yes. Oh my God. But Eminem has always kind of been a clown, Cully. Isn't his daughter now a rapper or something like that? I don't know. And it was so, I won't say funny, but I guess the Alec Baldwin's daughter, the one he called a pig. Well, she came out and she was topless, and she had just a thong on with her back to the camera, and was saying, wherever she was, I probably won't be back allowed back here, but I love being here. So her uncle and her father were kind of upset by seeing her picture, which, you would think any normal, well, we don't have normal anymore, but any person might. And so she's an adult now. She can certainly do what she wants, even if it is in bad taste or whatever. But I can't help but think that once you've been called a pig by your own father, and God only knows what else she was called and how often, maybe you continually try to strive and do things for attention seeking, because you need approval from other people, because you didn't get it from your father. Just saying. Years ago, I figured out the rich rappers are there for money laundering. Sorry if this isn't PC. I don't know about rappers and what they're for. I have no idea. Folks, please get over your addiction to celebrity. Yes, Tim, absolutely. She married Bieber, didn't she? I don't know who's married to Bieber. I know a female did marry him. Maybe it was. My gosh, they need to put clothes on. My father would have had a fit even if you were an adult. But Cindy, did your father call you a pig? Did your father ever call you a pig? Yeah, it might be a little different. Susan, what about these text messages from the Border Patrol agents in that chat group? Harley, Guy, we don't know, number one, if that chat group even existed, if those were really Border Patrol agents. I'd want to do more investigation before, giving an opinion on that. I think it's too quick to say that that was truly them. Plus, the left seems to make things up at will. So I would want to see the proof. I really would. And if it's true, then those Border Patrol agents, depending on what was said and da 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 da, they should have a consequence for that if it's proven to be true. No, my dad would never call anyone a pig. I don't like Alec Baldwin. He is nasty. Yeah, this is what I always tell dads. Your impact on your children, especially your daughters, is so intense. I mean, your impact is a lifelong impact. And women will seek out typically husbands that are just like their fathers. So if you're calling your daughter a pig, it's possible that she's going to seek out a man who's going to be putting her down and disrespecting her, just like you did. Carmen said, my mom met Alec Baldwin. He ate in her restaurant, said he was super friendly, asked, was she sure it was Alec? Well, I mean, there's no reason for him to be rude, Carmen, at that point. Karma said he was kicked out of the U.S. He's Canadian. What does his opinion matter anyway? It doesn't, Karma. It doesn't. And that's just a point. Now we've stooped in this society, if you will, to having pop stars or former pop stars maybe from Canada weigh in on something that the president of the United States is doing. Justin? Okay. So anyway, all right, everybody. Thank you so much for coming in today. If you would, please retweet this. Also, if you haven't already, go to susanknowles.com and share my article, if you will, and sign up to receive the articles every day in your email. Simply go to the third column over if you're on a PC, and you will see where you just put in your email address and you're signed up. And if you're on a phone, just scroll all the way to the bottom and do that. It'll be all the way at the bottom because there is no third column on the phone, and just sign up for the emails. All right. Until tomorrow, God bless you. Talk to you soon. Take care.